Hello, Michael Talbot Kelly here, back on the other side, sharing with you a little bit more about our formula of bringing beauty to the world, bringing our gifts to the world so that the banquet of life can be great. And of course, we may not be able to do this in our lifetime, in my lifetime anyway, but we're certainly setting up a vision of creating 100 different gift schools around the world before long. We're starting in Vancouver, but so the idea is that the Natural Gift Society will go global, but we're talking about how do we make this now very practical in our lives in creating the map. A map is meaning and prosperity. So we've created a map for you, and the first element of that is our true nature. But I wanted to just read to you what the Dalai Lama says from our book. The Dalai Lama says about what the planet needs. The planet does not need more successful people. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kind. So how do we access that lovers of all kind? How do we access that part of ourselves that is ancient? All the great teachers that said, go within, all the answers are within. Whether you are a religious person at one end of the continuum, whether you're Muslim, Christian, you're a Buddhist, or you're a Baha'i, a Jain, or at the other end, whether you're a spiritual person, where you just live a good, ordinary spiritual life and very quiet without a lot of the belief systems and the dogma of a religion, or you just live a principled life based on goodness, and you just feeling like you need to do the right thing in a morally and principled life that is important. True nature says that that's what we really have to dial ourselves into. You have to dial yourself into the principled part of you, the religious part of you, the spiritual part of you that is still, that is present, that has an isness about it, or you could say is a mystery. The last video I told the story of you're not a problem to be solved so much as you are a mystery to be embraced. The mystery is the essential part of it. We look at an acorn. We talk about the whole metaphor of an acorn in the book, and how we need to crack open the acorn so that the shoot can go down into fertile ground, and then of course from the roots comes the shooting up of the leaves in order to get more light and whatnot. And with a bit of luck, that mighty oak that's inside of the acorn, as they say, a mighty oak was once just a nut that held its ground. But we're all nutters in that way, aren't we? We all have particular gifts, and we all start living our own genuine life. We're not going to be following the status quo in the box. We're going to be living from our story, from our authenticity. We'll be authoring our own life from our true nature and aim that and dial it into on top of essential qualities as our natural gifts. We're going to be working with our depressions, anxieties, meaninglessness, our procrastination, our feeling out of sorts and whatnot. And then we're going to be developing skills so we can deliver all of that towards a meaningful need. This is all aimed towards a meaningful need. And we have a vision of that, right? Do you remember? We had a vision for the map. So our true nature means essentially, in this video, I want you to walk away with understanding that you need to find your practice. Whether you're practicing yogi, or you go to a yoga class every now and again, whether you crochet or you're a marathon runner, whether you do art or music, all of these are means for us to develop a relationship with the presence that is so mysterious, but also frees us and reminds us about who we really are. So all answers are within. A lot of teachers will say that. I know some teachers and some religions will say that the answers are on the outside. Wherever you are in that continuum, I want you to just deepen your practice and set an intention around, okay, my true nature. What is it that I need to deepen in my life so that I can have access to my essential qualities, my natural gifts, and the meaningful need that I am aimed towards. If I have a gift of being a teacher, and I have an essential quality of being very compassionate, and I'm willing to do a little bit of work and aim it towards autistic kids, why couldn't I be a compassionate teacher working with the meaningful need of autistic kids? The Buddha was very mindful. And the meaningful need were a lot of suffering in the world. And his natural gift was being able to teach and convey this very, very difficult teaching of what that true nature is. It's beyond words, it's beyond sound, it's beyond most things that we know. It's a bit of a mystery. But who we are can lay the foundation for us then to be able to start essentially opening up what our essential qualities, natural gifts are. Picasso had a very natural gift of painting, obviously, but when he was painting and when he was doing his practice, he was dialed into the presence of that, and he followed as much as he directed. As he says, the meaning in life is to discover our gifts. The purpose in life is for us to give our gifts away to a meaningful need. He brought beauty to the world, didn't he? So, and we know he was a bit of a rascal. All of this, of course, is outlined in our it goes into more detail in each of these areas in our book. I hope this is making sense. Essentially, when we're talking about our true nature, we need to find some time to cultivate that relationship and develop a relationship of presence. We need to be present to the presence of that true nature, that stillness, that quiet. Below the ocean, surface of the ocean where there's tides and there's all sorts of winds and there's storms and there's oil spills and there's boats and activity, and right below, way deep down, is the stillness. And that's our job, is to cultivate a relationship with that stillness. So that's the first part of what we're talking about, what we call true nature. Some people would call God, some people would call their Buddha nature, other people would just say it's just about presence. Either way, it's a consciousness that really is essentially about feeling very present and open and loving and courageous and relaxed. And yes, it's a yes to life. I hope that makes sense. If you'd like to join us on the next video, join me on the next video. We're going to talk about essential qualities. Thank you so much for bearing with me and for helping understand a little bit more about our nature as we start to move from the center out towards the periphery of our life. We dialed into stillness. Now we're moving up towards essential qualities, and we all have essential qualities. I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.